History's full comments, and I will be so now I got a sweat. Well, I'm tired of getting your soul, but I get set up the moon. And I said that it's all the cold. How is people talk what for them? Because I know it's from the small things. Everything about my heart that I had to come my thing. It's so that I'm thinking. Sometimes I said that I love you.
All right, what's up, TikTok? We'll start in a second. Now everything's set up. You gonna be an audience for my podcast?
I'll leave in a minute.
Oh, all right. Okay. What's up, everybody? This is Enlightened Masculinity Podcast. I'm your host, Yogi Chris, PhD, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga and captain of IMC Nation. I'm streaming to you here from IMC Base 1, 408 area code, San Jose, California. And this is a great episode. You can find this podcast on all the platforms. So if you're watching the recording, then leave a review. And if you're not aware of the recordings, then you can check it out on Apple, Spotify, Podbean, all the big platforms. Shout out TK. He's responsible for a lot of the posting of the podcast. So he's on Zoom. We have Sultan here, live audience also. And we're streaming to a bunch of YouTubes and even the TikTok. AZD encouraged me to stream to this TikTok, even though I didn't think my podcast was that related exactly to like what the TikTok audience is. But he said, go ahead, use the TikTok, stream to that, and just talk to your people on the regular pod. Because a lot of times over here, I'm going to be taking for granted that the people that are live know what I'm talking about. And people on TikTok don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So you'll just catch up, I guess, catch on as you go. Now, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that Sultan's here. I'm going to include him a little bit. I want to talk to him a little bit. So he's in the background. Sultan has lived with AZD as I have for 3 years. And, what do you think about, as I've been talking with some new guys on Alpha Academy, I mentioned in an officers meeting earlier, like, what do you think about these guys that they want to get results faster? They want to get there sooner. Do you come across that at all? And, Sultan is the other half of people that message. What's up, Barry? Barry Taylor's on. He messages a lot of the guys on Alpha Academy or people on the fringes of IMC Nation. He runs the other TikTok, AZD_IMC, I think. This one's Bible of Arash. And, so he's your point man for a lot of guys in the world that are looking at IMC and AZD. And so I'm sure you come across, a lot of different scenarios as I have. So do you come across people that in any context, they're on Alpha Academy, they're not on Alpha Academy, they want to get the game sooner? Or maybe an easier question, taking a step back, like, do you come across guys that already think they know game, that they're good at game already, that they don't need to learn any more game? Maybe they already learned enough, or maybe they're natural. Does that come
across both? I think everybody wants it fast. Like, I think all the guys want to learn this stuff fast. I do too, but that's just not the way it is.
Why is that not the way it is?
Because you gotta go through the fucking struggle of like fucking up so many times and making so many mistakes, saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, messing up your relationships. And if you already have a bunch of relationships and you have a kid and stuff, like that just it makes the path, I think, longer because you've already built so much the wrong way. You went the wrong way for so long that now you gotta like that has to be like destroyed because you can't just fix that. It's like it's gotta be like destroyed and rebuilt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean to me it does, but you know, to the outsider, wouldn't you think that isn't there any coach out there that you don't have to fuck up, you don't have to destroy everything? Like, why do you have to make all those fuck ups and mistakes? If you were gonna do that, why do I even need a coach? I could just fuck up and make the mistakes and learn. You know what I mean?
I don't think guys are learning when they make mistakes. They keep doing the same stupid shit all the time. Like this guy the other night, he was out with us, and like he was opening this girl. He was opening conversation with this girl, but he was doing it in such a creepy way.
So we go out. We live at a base with 4 guys. There's another base in San Jose with 4 guys. So we move as 8 guys. We had another guy who's local, so he came with us. So we move as a pack of 9 guys regularly on the weekends when we go out. And we go to 2, maybe 3 venues. And we're regulars there, so you know we get to know the people. Yeah. So one of the guy that's local, actually, he brought a friend, or a friend met him there or something. Now that guy was not completely inexperienced with women or pickup.
No,
like
he definitely studied.
He was studied in something when it related to getting women somehow. And so that's who Sultan's talking about. What was happening?
Yeah, so he was opening a conversation with this girl that was walking by, but he was like doing it in a very creepy way. He was standing in front of her trying to block her from moving forward. She was walking through this aisle, and he kept standing like in a way where she couldn't walk through. She had to like try to maneuver around him, and it was like
that's alpha. That's alpha, isn't it?
It's alpha if you're Indian.
It's alpha if you just block her path and like force her to either push you out of the way or move around you.
Yeah, it's hella alpha. It's so alpha, get you kicked out of the fucking venue for looking like a weirdo.
Yeah,
but he did it twice. It's not that he did it once; he did it twice.
Yes, it wasn't a mistake.
It was so weird. It was just like, man,
so he didn't pick up on the
awkwardness.
Disharmony or awkwardness the first time. He did it again.
Yeah, I'm sure he's done it multiple times. It's just that she never got him back up again. But yeah, then guys think they know, like they think they know game. They don't. Man, they don't know anything. They don't know, man. Damn, they don't know. It's crazy. Like if you go to the gym, it's very like when I go to the gym, I see it probably the most because there's a lot of guys with their girlfriends. It's probably like where I see most guys with.
Yeah, I mean that's almost a different, more broad conversation.
Yeah,
just the state of men in the world today.
Yeah,
I'm even looking at the guys that are on the fringes of IMC. They're attracted to this content we put on social media, or somehow we're DMing them because they know AZD, or we just come across them. So they're looking at game, they're looking at AZD, or they're in it. They're in the Alpha Academy, so they've signed up. Like that whole spectrum of people. There's layers of people. There's the guys that live with them. There's the officers and the guys in bases, and there's the people that attend camps. And those are like the most inner circle people. And then there's the guys on Alpha Academy that never attended a camp. Some of those, they're more like Phoenix. He's been on for a year or more. Right. And then there's some of those that are just new Alpha Academy people. These are all onion layers of closeness and proximity. Because the closer you get, the more taboo information you get, the more, the more you're trusted. So because certain information will give you an edge. It's just how it is. And then there's the people that aren't even on Alpha Academy. Maybe they once were on Alpha Academy, they're not anymore. Those are people usually like foreigners. They don't make a lot of money and like they can afford a month here and there. And then there's the people that just have never signed up, but they're interested. They're looking. All these layers, onion layers. And then there's the people that have not even ever seen or discovered AZD before. Those fall into 2 layers. Even those are the people that study pickup, just aren't aware of AZD yet. I mean, it happens. And then the people that don't even study pickup. Those are just like the most normal normies of the normies. So I'm not talking about them. Those would be the guys at the gym. They're like the furthest that you could be. They're like 10 feet from AZD, but they're the furthest from them.
I think even the guys that watch the TikTok I could put them in that category.
They're close.
Yeah.
They're just half a step closer because they're doing, they're just watching a couple information. And, but that's who you're DMing. Them and all the way up into guys that are doing camps. So yeah, I'll probably include Fernando if you if you crutch your way in here. I'll probably include you in this discussion. I get it. We live with 3 guys. 3 of us live with AZD. Good day. Can you please tell me what Bible of Arash is? That's this account. It's called Bible of Arash. This TikTok account. And then is this device on yet? Not yet. Almost. So yeah, people, they want to get it fast, and they think so. It's more obvious to people that already think they know game. I think that is more frequent. But then sometimes you'll get someone that like joins up and they want to get it fast. They think maybe one camp will do it, or they've been on Alpha Academy for 2 or 3 months and they think they should be somewhere. Do you come across that at all, or have you seen that?
The guys that come around and they want to understand, but they want to level up really fast. So.
Something like that, and kind of the examples that I just said is kind of what I hear.
Yeah.
Sometimes after like 2 or 3 months, there's almost some like frustration or expectation that they'll be somewhere, a certain place with it, and then sometimes it'll be guys that they did 1 camp or 2 and they think they should be somewhere. I think this happened with those realtors from the East Coast, Jersey and New York. There were 3 of them. One came and stayed residency.
Also, the solar guys.
The what?
The solar guys.
Solar. Oh yeah. Yeah. The solar. Some guys, and we were not naming them, but these guys, they were in like solar sales or whatever, and they'd studied a little bit, and they came and did 1 camp, and then they thought they should be somewhere. Like they should have gotten it. They didn't see the path of like 80 or 90 camps. That's just absurd. That's a whole college education. I mean, college education is like maybe 120 credits for a bachelor's degree. And a credit is an hour per semester, which like would meet 1 hour a week. And so we meet 7 hours a week in Alpha Academy. That's 7 credits per semester. We meet 4 semesters a year because we meet winter, summer, spring. So that's 28 credits a year. 4 years of Alpha Academy is practically the equivalent of a bachelor's degree in this stuff. And if all 4 of those years you did every camp, that would be the equivalent of the master's, maybe even a PhD. It depends how far you go, how fast you go. But that's like, what is that, 48 camps? 48 months of Alpha Academy and 48 camps for that level of training. And, I think I've been around a little bit longer. I've done more than that.
Yeah.
And I still don't feel that great at it. Like, I got to be better. I'm like, wow.
I think it depends on what the guy wants. What is the guy looking for? Like, if he's looking to go on a date, I mean, that's like fucking easy.
Well, let me ask you, because you're a little bit closer to the beginning of your journey. You're not at the beginning, but if I've been around 8 years, you've been around 4 years or so.
Yeah.
And so maybe you remember a little bit better than me. Has your goals changed since the beginning? What were your goals when you first got into this, if you can remember?
My goal was to have a. The goal was to like be able to talk to people. I couldn't talk to people. I had no how do you say it?
Yeah.
I didn't have the confidence to even interact with anyone socially.
Yeah.
I had 0 confidence. So that was
obviously that's changed.
Yeah, the goal was to talk to people and just interact. It wasn't even like me go on a date. It was just I wanted to fucking interact with somebody, like have a human interaction with somebody.
Wow.
And then that like then you realize like damn, it goes so much deeper. It goes so much further than just that. Like there's when you start seeing like what's possible, all your goals change. So
Exactly.
yeah.
And so as guys study and they see what's possible, not just with themselves, but they see all the examples given.
Yeah.
They're like, what the fuck? As they wrap their mind around it, like, oh man, it's just like telling a joke and the guy doesn't get it. It's like telling him what's happening in this relationship, or how pivotal what I just said was, or how potent that was for her, how deeply she felt what I just said to her, or what, people, they miss it. They don't really get it,
And then you got guys that are like dating, and like, I just got messaging me. Oh, fuck, he was messaging me, and I was reading his message. He was asking me for advice. He thought I was a Rosh, and I told him I wasn't.
Oh yeah.
But he asked me for advice still, and I was like, bro, man, I was reading his message. I was like, man, this is really bad. Like, what kind of relationship is this? What the fuck? I'm not gonna say what happened because he might be listening, and I don't want to put him on blast like that. But man, it was just really bad. The shit he was saying to me, I was like, dude, like that's a relationship you're having with a woman, like, and she's with you. What are you talking about? He was just saying like, I'm telling her this. He's basically trying to punish her because she didn't do ABC. But it's like the way he's doing it. I was like, man, how old are you? Fucking 11 years old. Like, this guy's like 30 years old. I'm like, dude, you're acting like a fucking little kid, and she's like, no better you, but goddamn, like you have no idea what you're doing.
Man, and that's exactly what you were saying a minute ago, where you were like, guys, they're making mistakes and fucking up, but they're doing the same mistakes over and over.
Yeah.
They're not assessing the situation because they're stuck in their frame.
Yeah.
They're not talking with anybody else about relationships.
They need somebody to look at it from a third person that has already been there and can be like, dude, you're making a mistake right there.
Yeah, dude. And there's layers of that, because even just telling someone that hasn't been there, but just saying it out loud, what you're going through in your relationship, a lot of times you become more aware of what's happening as you're explaining it. So you just having some guys don't talk about relationships with people if I mean, maybe their family and their family's fucked up on relationships.
Yeah.
So have you discovered yet that most of the people that you're talking with on social media are kind of in the same situation you were when you first started this stuff? Has that realization come to you, or
I haven't really got that.
what are you getting about the audience that you're talking with?
They don't know what this is. Like, they don't get it. They don't get what is being taught. I think it's like, it's a little bit of, a few, percentage of it is like guys that think this is just strictly like game, like, or pickup artists.
Yeah.
And you got some people that are like, oh, this is like spiritual. This guy's like a spiritual teacher. And then you got like, some guys that are just, they like watch all the videos, but they really don't know what it is. They just kind of like chalk it up to be like this coach guy.
Okay.
Like, they don't really know what it is. They're like, oh, he's talking about girls. He's talking about like the mind and like, spirituality, but like, I really don't know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the guys that like, they're in relationships and, they're just in these really toxic relationships. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to like, or you got the guys that like earn relationships and you're like, I want to see other girls. I don't know how to do it. What do you do? So there's like these little pods or like these little
little bins.
Yeah, bins of people, and it seems like it's an equal amount of each. It's not like one is really more than the other.
Yeah.
That I'm coming across.
Nice. Man, this is very interesting. We should like business model this.
Yeah. It's like that's basically it. I mean, it's an equal amount of all these different bins, and and then you got like the guys that they watch the spiritual aspect of it, and then they claim that they're not interested in women, but that's a lie.
This is interesting. Yeah. It's interesting. Okay, so we have the guys that claim they're not interested in women, but there's the spiritual guys watching AZD content.
Yeah.
Then there's the guys that have girlfriends and want to be with multiple women. They're watching. Then there's the guys. What was the other group?
And you got guys that
There was like the first one you said.
Yeah, you got guys that think that it's just like strictly pickup, like it's just
think that it's just pickup, and they're probably dry dicked and just want to get girls, something like that. Okay, so 3 bins, like right there. So what do you guys fall in right now on TikTok? There's a bunch of you watching. What do you guys fall in? There's a bunch of you on IMC TV YouTube. Shout out IMC TV. We should have some kind of gang sign for IMC TV. Okay, so what do you say to the guy that? So how do those go? The guys that they're just into pickup versus the guys that want multi relationships versus the guys that are just spiritual dudes? Like, do those? What can you tell me about one of those? Which one are you most familiar with?
Man, it's equal.
Okay,
it's pretty close.
Okay, so pick one, and then that you could tell me about how that goes. What are their route to Alpha Academy? What's their route to Alpha Academy?
Well, if they're spiritual,
which everybody, the link is in the description for Alpha Academy or the bio, and you can train with AZD.
If they're spiritual, then they gotta.
We're on it too. Okay, spiritual guys.
Yeah, spiritual guys.
Spiritual guys that are watching AZD content. We're not just going after spiritual guys, like spiritual guys attracted to the shit.
Yeah,
you're all spiritual. You're not into women, not like us.
Yeah,
you like the content.
They say that, but it's like you gotta get them. You gotta get them to say that they're interested in women. It's like I can't be like, no, bro, you're not. You're interested in women. Like, you're lying. Like, it's not gonna work that way. So it's this. They gotta figure it out on their side that they do need this, The question is, what was the question? The question is, like,
Well, okay, so if you were one of those spiritual dudes, and how would you say to me that it's not about the women? I'd be like, hey, are you into game and pickup also? And then you would say,
no,
this is in the conversation. I'm
no,
Sultan. I've DM'd the person.
Yeah, more into Buddhism. I'm like
More into Buddhism.
yeah. Like I'm looking for peace within myself because I've had a very difficult life. You know, a lot of trauma, and I need to handle that before I can even think about getting women.
Yeah, right on. So when you handle that, you think you'd be let's see. I would think about how am I going to reply to that. But obviously if they said that, then they're into women. They just think they got to do some healing first. And which is probably true. They're probably super low value for women. So be right on. Like, how long have you known about AZD? Or I would say really, what have you been doing about that so far?
I've been meditating and I've been reading.
Meditating and reading.
Yes.
So I'm looking for the guy, what he's missing in the ingredients, and it's not the teaching of AZD, but I might think what kind of pack he has. Does he have friends that are in on this path with him? You know, where is he from? Did he grow up there? And does he have a bunch of friends to hang out with on these subjects on this journey? And, you know, if not, have you noticed IMCs, you know, worldwide? We got people everywhere, probably someone close to you. And, you know, you like this content, they like this content. Have you ever been to a class? And, you know, so I just build rapport with the guy and do reconnaissance so I get to know him, so that a lot of times the reconnaissance will come into play much later, long after he signed up for Alpha Academy, knowing where he started, where a guy started. Because that's what you're doing. You know, one of these guys may one day be an IMC officer. You'd be surprised which one, you know, like I didn't think it'd be that guy. And yeah, so okay, that's the spiritual guy. What about the pickup guy that's all into pickup? So I'm like, hey man, I'm Sultan from IMC Base One. I live with AZD. And then I'm like, are you into game and pickup too?
Yeah, man, I've studied game and pickup before.
Right on. Who have you studied?
Studied a couple coaches on YouTube. I haven't like bought anything.
I see. Which way would I go with that? I might say wow, there's a lot of routes. I'm genuinely interested in a lot of routes. I want to know how much success they've had with that stuff. You know, have you had any success? I want to know, did you know that AZD used to be considered a pickup artist? I want to know if they've ever heard of Mystery or VH1 Pickup Artist. And then, you know, depending on that, you know, I might even get into like direct or indirect pickup, or depending on how aware of those things they are, it might be like, yeah, AZD was a protege of Mystery, but, you know, transcended that into multiple relationships. A lot of the pickup guys. Have you noticed any, what do you, see, that might be too much, but yeah, I would want to know, how's that pickup game going for you? Are you, that was it. And it's like, how is that? Hey guys, if you're the pickup guys, no one is teaching what AZD is. Serge. Where's he from? The Serge that you know?
Sergey.
Yeah, but where's he from?
He's from Norway.
Norway. Is this Serg from Norway or another Serg? What AZD is teaching is far beyond pickup. I feel like success with women is a byproduct. Okay, that's probably Serg.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's him.
Hello, I'm into finding the one with mutual coexist. That's a spiritual one. That's one of the spiritual categories. I'm into finding the one with mutual How is that going for you? How's the search going? How is it working out? You know? Very interested in that. I'm a loner, no real friends, no close family. So that's tough for a woman to, like, you know, be really attracted to and submit to, just a loner out there. This is Sergio from Arizona. Man, and you're saying that? You're not even on Alpha Academy. That's amazing. Exactly. This is the guy that was saying that what AZD's teaching is way beyond pickup. Just through TikTok. And maybe we've been messaging a little bit, but you're not on Alpha Academy yet, I don't think. Man, if you're saying that now, before Alpha Academy, that's amazing. Guys, the clips on the TikToks and some of the clips we put on the YouTube, Stoic Temple YouTube, those are from his free classes that they just get chopped up little sound bites. But the class, that's once a week. So the class is 7 days a week. And there's a lot that's said on the non-public classes that, you know, they don't get said on the public classes because we know that it's going to be public. Not yet, but I'm going to be very soon. Fuck yeah.
I'm at the gym.
All right. That was good.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good shit.
Good shit. What is this? Kind of weird. Okay. We're going to set up the live on the other TikTok real quick, guys. Maybe Fernando will make his way in here and we'll talk with him. The other guy that lives with AZD here for 3.5 years. Top guy on the planet for what he does. You know, one of these guys I was talking to recently said he makes $1 million a year. He's on Alpha Academy. Makes $1 million a year. Imagine. That's like a lot more than I make. Feels different, I'm sure. But I live very simple as a monk. And if I made more money, it would be investing a lot. I'd still live simple as a monk. Let's see here. Just as I'm setting up, what did I call this? This is improve your game as fast as possible. So we're going to talk about that at least by the end. Improve your game. I'm going to give my take after I fix this typo. Your game as fast as okay, too many characters. Back. As possible. Flip the camera. And we're good to go. Go live. Okay. Now, yeah, but I'm going to be very soon. What's up? What's up, everybody? Thanks for all the likes, man. 2,700 likes already on that stream. I really appreciate it. So we're live now on AZD_IMC, TikTok, the other main TikTok. Welcome. And then, of course, IMC TV, YouTube, and we're here on Zoom. Shout out Zoom. So this guy's saying $1 million a year, this and that. And why was I bringing that up? Why was I bringing that up? Anybody remind me? TK, why was I saying that? What was I saying that for? These are clipped up. Sergey's going to be on soon.
Host Captain, I'm driving right now, but last thing I remember you hearing is going live on TikTok and perhaps talking with Fernando and Sultan, if I remember correctly.
Right. Yeah, I was saying maybe if Fernando came in here, I'd talk with him about it. But anyway, I was talking with Sultan about these bins, these spiritual guys, these guys that are into pickup, and the guys that have a relationship and they want multiple relationships. There may be some overlap, but you know, like a guy that has a relationship and he's also into pickup, or a spiritual guy that is also into pickup or whatever. There's all kinds of combinations of these things. And guys that are just joining on TikTok, this is part of my podcast. I'm Yogi Chris, live with AZD. And exactly. Boom. So talking with this guy makes a bunch of money. And I'm like, you're a celebrity, dude. You're like the 1% of the 1%. Seriously, like in the world, on this planet, you're doing very, very well. And we can say bigger numbers like make $1 billion a year, make $1 trillion a year, but we're just saying that. Like the actual doing of it, make $1 million a year is like WTF. And, you know, one day I'll be looking back at it and be like, $1 million a year is nothing, you know, but right now it's like, good job. You're a celebrity, dude. You need celebrity game. You need the kind of game that would protect a celebrity's reputation, that would protect a celebrity's income, his house, his holdings, his assets, his family, his reputation, because you have a huge target on your back. He's a student, beginner student with AZD in his 40s or whatever, you know, has that going. I mean, a lot of us guys are younger than 40s. And so I could feel at 37, I could feel what being in my 40s, starting to learn this game would feel like. Oh shit. I started learning it at like 28 or something, or so 27 to 29 in there. And you know, I felt like I had also missed the wave a little bit because, man, if I had found pickup in game at like 20 or 21 or 19, who knows? But that's like, I wasn't ready. And I was exploring other things. I got really good at so there's no looking back and saying the grass is greener type of thing. But I can see, you know, his situation. He wants to get it fast. He wants to get this stuff. And it's like Sultan was saying, when people have kids or families or something, and then they come across this information and they want to reorganize their life, or they want a completely different life, to bring the life you have along, you got to bring a lot of order to it, reorganizing it so that there's different understandings, different agreements with your wife, your kids, your business contacts. And the more you have invested in the world, more tentacles and roots in the world, like the more it's going to kind of hurt to pull it up and replant it somewhere. And, it takes a little bit of time, and there's some pain involved and tears and whatever. And, sometimes it does kind of burn all down and it destroys. Sometimes not all of it destroys. Sometimes people want to take their time and be so delicate with it, and they never get anywhere, but nothing gets destroyed, but they barely get anywhere. And, so the guy that's making $1 million a year business, whatever, I don't think he has a family, like, wife and kids. And it's still going to take, like, man, even if you had all the perfect information, by the time it takes to get your communication lines out to people, get them duplicating it and agreeing to your new way of being. It's not like you're negotiating exactly on a piece of paper, like how to be, but like to become a ladies' man, your attitude changes, your charisma changes, your enthusiasm changes, how you talk about your life changes. Everything changes, man. How you dress, how you smell, your habits, like it all changes. And we can change for a day. We can change for half a day. We can change. It's like somebody said once, it's like, oh, they say to Bikram yoga, you're like, you could do anything for 20 seconds, trying to make it seem like this one posture that's really difficult to do for like 10 seconds. They're trying to say you can do anything for 10 seconds. Yeah, I get it. So I can really go hard and hold this pose. And it's kind of like that. You can change your habits and, like, people got weird habits and not smell for half a day. You could take 2 showers in the morning and wear lots of deodorant and just not smell, but you'll fall off. You won't be able to keep it up. Or all kinds of grooming and speaking habits and all kinds of things and that's just nonverbal. I mean, well, I said speaking habits. Speaking habits is like a million different words. Like the way you communicate, it's demonstrating a lot of lower value in just your vocabulary. Then your emotional state. That's where it gets really fucked up, because you're like, you can control your habits, like clip your toenails. Eventually you'll forget until you make it a habit. And if you make it a habit, then you won't have overhanging toenails. It's gross. Guys have it at the fight center and they just joined Alpha Academy. And like, dude, clip your toenails, dude. Just like they're overhanging. I don't get why that's so difficult. And why you don't think it's important, really. It's not difficult, but why don't you think it's more important to trim that shit? And it's like, if you have that bad habit going on, what other bad habits do you have that a girl is going to find? Because I find that repulsive. A girl's going to find a lot of things repulsive. I don't want to, break him down, but it's just so much. And grooming and speaking, and he has high value things going for him too, but he doesn't know how to use those. He lacks confidence where he actually has strength. And then where he's lacking strength, he's lacking awareness. So he lacks awareness about where he's weak, and he lacks confidence where he's strong. And so he's just a walking DLV. But he's getting better, learning how to talk, learning how to walk. And even though he's a built guy, like it's not like he's some paraplegic that he's learning how to talk and walk again. I mean, he's being born again because his old life, he was so weak of a character that women just trampled him, just walked all over him. He got trampled by squirrels. He didn't get trampled by like a million wildebeest running down the cliff. He got trampled by a herd of prairie dogs. That's how weak he was. And now he's getting stronger, and now the prairie dogs can't trample him. They run away. And so he's going to get better and better women and get better and better situations. Because anyway, I'm going to go a different direction with that. So what I'm saying to this $1 million guy is, it takes time. You plant the seeds and they grow. You have to get your communication lines out to the world, your new way of being. People accept it, aka agree with it, or they disagree with your new way of being. You're too alpha, you're too aggressive, you're too certain. They were used to you being more docile. And so if they don't agree to your upgrades, then you'll come into a lot of clashes in your business, family, and whatever. And that will sting a little bit. You'll learn how much you care about the opinions of other people, much more than you think. Everybody shares the meme, don't care about the other people's opinions. Nobody's living it. You'll see when you try to learn game, more than any other thing, any other self-improvement, any new skill, anything, except for like if you were going to like be transgender or something. But that's like terrible. It's low ethic. So learning game, you'll encounter more resistance, not only in the subject, like telling people, which you shouldn't tell people you're learning game, but they will resist your way of being, because you getting women, you being a ladies' man, threatens all the guys around you, and all the girls around you will polarize to either being attracted to you or not attracted to you. You, in the meantime, are going to be learning how to read women's indications of interest and disinterest. You're actually very blind, deaf, and just numb to recognizing women's interest or disinterest, subtleties in subtle ways. And so you miscommunicate. And so you'll polarize women, and then you'll also, it sounds strong to say violate, but that's what we mean, socially violate women who actually aren't interested in you, assuming they're interested. And that'll wreak havoc in your life. So you'll have to go through that. And it's like, that's just what it is. Or you can not learn game and just stick in your social position, just stick there and not really change much the rest of your life and get whatever you get. You know what I mean? As a guy, you'll probably accumulate more resources, more connections, but you'll lose touch with younger women. So on one hand, you become a better trick for women. And on the other hand, you become more of a loser in terms of social awareness, which is, very important to women. That's a value, actually, a survival value. Okay, we're going to check any commenters here on the TikTok. Do you have ADHD? What do you think? You can answer that. Why do you care if I think I do or not? I keep getting called aggressive. This is Sergio on the Bible of Arash TikTok. I keep getting called aggressive, but I treat everyone with respect and always use manners. I might question manners, but treating people with respect is very, very important. I recently actually was disrespectful to a girl. She was a model that was being, I thought, disrespectful in her communication with me, rude, and just like all kinds of nasty words, like I say, like entitled, vindictive, fucking just trash. She's being trash. And so then I told her a piece of my mind, which was probably fine the first time, but then I went like 3 or 4 more messages deep. And afterwards I was feeling bad. And I'm like, man, I got too much into that just because I had to, like, you're from Smallville. What does that even mean? Like, I look like Clark Kent? Thank you. Luther. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. You guys are commenting weird. Do you guys like how you comment? Because it's weird. I'm only hearing weird comments. At least on the other TikTok, people are like, engaged better. Oh, shit. There. Sorry, I kind of kicked out of there a little bit. So, guys, smash the like. We have 5,000 likes on this other TikTok stream. You guys have 6. It's ridiculous. Not 6,000, just 6. I don't know what you guys are doing. Okay, questions are welcome on the TikToks, on the YouTubes, and on Zoom here. I'm just checking some things. Okay. So where was I? Oh, you said Yogi Chris is highly intelligent. Thank you very much. Commenting a lot, bro. Said it feels good, but wouldn't if you had a mill. Keep getting called yes, so just stay respectful is my best advice. And and then you learn to change your communication, but stay respectful. And then you'll learn to adapt your words and how you deliver. Just never lose your respect for people, even if you have to shoo them away or dismiss them or tell them off or whatever. But just if you never lose respect for them, you won't feel bad about how you conducted yourself later. That's called ethics. And in a lot of ways, when you join Alpha Academy, you'll hear a lot of different ways of responding to all kinds of scenarios and situations. Especially, whoa, I'm getting a galaxy symbol over here. How did you send a galaxy? That was super cool. That was a cool graphic. Guys, if you have galaxies, send those, because now I received Sergio's sending galaxies. Everybody send galaxies. So, let's see. What was I saying? So this $1 million guy, he wants to learn the game real fast. And I'm telling him he's got this big target on his back and he needs celebrity level game, because women are going to just take hell advantage of you making so much money like that. While you're learning game, while you're approaching and talking to, beautiful women, one of them is going to see the dollar bills and take advantage of that. She knows how to demonstrate interest, how to feign interest. I'm continually surprised on women's fake interest signals. I have 2 solid relationships, what you would call girlfriends. I don't call them girlfriends, but they're way more than most guys' girlfriends will ever be. They're way more than most marriages will ever be in terms of how much they follow my lead and how much I'm leading them. Outside of having kids with them, I'm leading them. One of them especially, one of them is just absolutely more than any married woman that you'll ever come across. Unless you come across a real long-lasting pimp that's had his bottom bitch for a long time. And I'm not pimping this girl. I'm not her pimp. But she is mine. And then the other girl, man. And then I have a third relationship that's beginner. But it's a relationship, not talking to any other guys. And I live as a player amongst these guys that are players, going out, talking to girls. And I'm just not chasing pussy like pickup artists. And guys, I am a pickup artist, but it's not like you think, because my life is not picking up girls. My life is building my life. And girls are attracted to the top quality girls, the girls that will give themselves to you, are attracted to a man that has his life together. He's not a clown going around clowning and entertaining people and using people's entertainment factor on each other we are doing that. We are entertaining, but we're entertaining on philosophy, on funny sense of humor, on our code of ethic, how we move. It's very interesting when 9 alpha-looking guys that are strong, that all train different arts of fighting, like sparring, we punch and get punched in the face regularly, multiple times a week. So we're tough, but we're philosophers. We're very disciplined. None of us sleep on beds. We all sleep on the floor. We all wake up before the sunrise every single day of the year. And then the top guys, like the 9 guys that go out, we watch what we eat and we study, we read. We read. And of course we have jobs and like whatever, but all of that quality just in a lone wolf, a single guy out there, trains fighting, studies philosophy, wakes up before the sunrise, sleeps on the bed, cold shower every day, watches what he eats, has job, makes income, good enough income to last around here, is like good income, good. He's fine. He could be a dad, and support. That's a quality guy. Now put 9 of them together where they all know how to move as a pack in and out of venues, picking up girls, not crossing lines with girls, not breaking apart because a girl gets between 2 or 3 guys showing interest, or one guy's legit girlfriend, starts talking to another guy. It doesn't happen. So these relationships build and we go into business with each other. So we have a modeling agency, 4 or 5 of us together. We work in different parts of the country. 2 of us, 3 of us live here. It's probably like 7 guys that are in it now. There's an LA branch, there's a Montreal branch, there's a San Jose branch. There's a clothing line, there's a record label, there's a real estate company, there's IMC as a company, and all of its offshoots, like Master Myself, who's a guy who lives in Phoenix who, does business. Like there's all these companies where we work together, we live together, and we do all those other things I said: wake up early, shower, cold shower every morning, train fighting, this and that. That's a strong pack of 9 dudes that knows how to pick up women, how to become comfortable, how to make the woman comfortable with them, with the pack, how to lead a relationship so the woman can relax and be actually submissive, finally, fully submissive, trust in your lead. Her heart will open so many times, so many layers of onion and trust and love and trauma and all the shit that she's never told anybody, or that she told people and then she was never accepted, and so she never got to feel that. Layers and layers and layers. It never ends. Can't lie. I'm hearing this for a reason. Something happened today where I can relate. For real, for real. Right on. That's why we made this account, man. I'm Yogi Chris. Reintroduce myself because I kind of need to end this stream soon. I mean, I'll talk as long as there's comments rolling in. Maybe 10 more minutes. Otherwise, I got to wrap it up and move on to the next thing. We have the new gathering that's out. That's in 2.5 weeks here in San Jose, February. What month am I in? November 24, 25, 26. It's in person, San Jose. Train with AZD. Go out to the strip club with us. Interact. Come to our house here, Base 1, where we live together. Hear and feel how we all communicate with each other, how we move, how we go out, how we talk to girls, how we groom, how you'll just completely upgrade your life. And it's only like $400. For in person. It's ridiculous. Now there are upgrades. You could be in the VIP car with him, drive with him when he goes to the strip club and back. There's a lot of one-on-one conversation there. There's a party that we're throwing with a bunch of models, and you'll learn how to take photos with these models, how to lead and guide a pretty woman into positions and have conversation with her so that you can capture like candid photos where it looks real, because it will be real, but it will be orchestrated, but real. It's, that's the theater of life. Even my relationships, that's the challenge of a relationship, is it gets real, more real, realer, and then it's no longer interesting. It needs to start as fantasy and stay as fantasy. So it's not what's really happening, but in a relationship, that's a challenge because she really gets to know you, really get to know her. And then it's like, this is too real. But the fantasy is always keeping it in this playful, surreal, and the trick, the real trick, or one of the real tricks that AZD has his thumb on, that we've got our thumb on with IMC Nation, is the fantasy is pro-survival, so that she actually ethically, internally, she feels better and better about being seduced by you because it's in her interest, actually. It's not just feel goods, like having a comfort bubble with, all kinds of cushions and fur carpets or fuzzy carpet and a big TV with perfect lighting and music and scents. And that's the pleasure bubble. That's one way of seducing her, is all that pleasure. But then there's the deep inner mental and physiological pleasure of doing better in life. And it says that you could understand it easily, like giving her a great job. But the way AZD does it is through his mentality, communicating with him, and what he teaches us by communicating, let's say with me, would be more acknowledgement, presence, recognition. You come to present time. So but at the same time, we're in a fantasy. It's amazing. So you become present with yourself, which feels great. And we live a relationship in fantasy. So it's like there's something real blissful to look forward to. The mind is engaged in a positive way, because the mind is always being triggered and engaged in all kinds of worries and things. And that's why you shouldn't live with your girl. That's why, you need space for yourself. You need a daily process. You got to cleanse this thing. Otherwise, it gets carried away with, that's the other thing. All 9 of us meditate, that move. So we move as a unit of monks, philosophers, fighters, businessmen, and players. That's what this movement is a bunch of players, entrepreneurs. We're all of these things. That's why we're not just pickup artists. Those guys don't have their lives together. We're not just, Andrew Tate, like they're unplugged with their business or whatever, but they're dorks with women. They're so basic and normal. Even if they're excelling with money, they're so normal. Just because this guy that I'm talking about makes $1 million a year, before AZD, he was normal with women. Now he's becoming cooler, abnormal, not normal. That's why everybody on the TikToks, there's a bunch of you watching now on the YouTube. There's a lot of people watching now. This is great. So go click in the bio. That's how you train with AZD. And if you are interested in a free class to try it out, DM the account. Just DM the account right after this. I'm going to end it right now. DM the account. Anybody on YouTube, you can see there's links and everything. Sign up for Alpha Academy. It's only $97 a month. You get all the recordings, hundreds of recordings, and it's a lecture every single day that you get the recording if you miss it. 10 a.m. Pacific every day. It's worth trying it for a month because, I've been on it for years. It's cutting edge. You stay ahead of the curve in mindset, communication. You're in a mastermind of guys. So it's no longer you trying to figure out relationships, and really relationships. It's life, but it's relationships. That's what life is. Relationships with your business, with your employer, with clients, with, collaborations, and of course with women, with family. And when you work and fix how you relate with mom, dad, mother, father figures, coaches, mentors, mentees, all of these things, it's all so related. That's when I say I'm not out there picking up girls. I'm building my life. And women are attracted to when you have your life together, your comm lines, your communication lines together, and you have control of this thing. You're leading your life and you're growing and upgrading. So you continually stay in communication with these lines of your life. So you update them on where you're at by staying in touch with people, not letting lines that are important to you go dry. Because then it takes a lot to get them upgraded. That's the integrated monk, not just the pickup artist or the wandering bohemian that just travels and moves on and doesn't build his life. We're building a life. And that's what makes our movement so very strong. Thank you for attending, everybody. Appreciate it. DM if you want to come to Alpha Academy. You need any more information on it, and sign up in the bio. And I'll see you. This is Yogi Chris out.